Agenda 628. 628, new page 719. So we missed 2 meetings. The first one because I could not speak anymore because of COVID, which I apparently got in the plane to France because I escaped it for all this time. I take the plane to France and people stopped wearing their masks and spread it everywhere. And I got it, even though I had my mask on all the time. But I got it and I could not speak anymore. Then the week after, I was outside and no way to come back in time. I joined 2 triage meetings at the same time as this meeting. I didn't realize it wasn't at the same time, but the time zone change made me forget that it was at the same time. And then my wife told me, but don't you have a meeting at 10 usually a.m.? I'm like, oh crap, that's why. So that's why I was joining at 12 Redmond time. So the same time as the meeting, which was wrong. And last week I joined the meeting. Nobody joined the triage meeting, but Gabor. Gabor joined the triage meeting. I was surprised. So today everyone is here. What do we have? Demos?
Please get yourself together. So
I assume we have a demo.
I don't, unfortunately. I wanted to demo Hisham stuff, but not in the end.
Or did you just join for fun, Zoltan?
In the end, yes. Did Sebastian drop?
Right, sorry, I got dropped because my internet is the worst where I'm at in France right now. I have my laptop up. What did I miss?
I just said that I wanted to do a demo of Hisham's, but that feature needs some work, admin culture, because I won't be able to. So I just joined for fun.
Oh, so you wanted to do a demo, but you won't do the demo?
Yes.
So you won't
no demo from me, unfortunately.
Oh, that's all done. It's hard to type. Anyone else?
Yes, I have a demo. Without verification testing with Lombiq UI Testing Toolbox.
Joseph with a Z. Okay, we'll do that after the status. Topics. No harvest. July 14th was French National Day. Yes, but there was still a meeting. No, there was no meeting. It was on Sunday. When was it? It was the Thursday, yeah. But yeah, oh, that's why you didn't join. You didn't join because it was the 14th. Okay, that's why. Topics. You can share your IDs if you have any. Status. Let's see what's happening. Yes, so the last 2 weeks I did triage by myself. The first week I also did some PR, and last week I just did some issues. Orchard 1, some things were merged. PRs were reviewed. Okay, so since the 28th of June, we merged the PR from Hermes that is updating newtonsoft.json version. That's fixing also radio buttons IDs, unique IDs. There were some conflicts in the generated ID on the editor. The search blog post feature has been merged in the admin because you could search for content items but not for blog posts. This is fixed cache by role exception. There was an exception that, and nullable field values which were not working. So the fix was to store the value as a nullable boolean for this specific issue. Call. I will jump to the 28th. Here I'm on the main branch. Am I? I should remove that, I assume. Yeah, same thing. 28th, Zoltan Mate has run gulp to update some scripts, adding context to the returned edit. For this part, yes, because some things were not updated otherwise. I believe that was the issue. Codemirror, closetag.js path fix for Mike Williamson, a new contributor. Wrong script was injected. Okay, for the close tag. What does it do? Does it say here? No, we don't know. Align the getting started documentation from Mike. To match with the templates. Fix course policy. Yes, someone filed an issue and Sean fixed it. Fixes TypeFeatureProvider throws if Razor page has no page model. Okay. That the template? Oh, this is the demo page example. If a Razor page has no page model. Interesting. Yeah, I think we saw the PR and we trusted Jean-Thierry. Use proper canonical URL in SEO tags from Jasmin. Aspect canonical. So it's not a new thing, it's just correctly updated. Okay, if there is a canonical, use it, otherwise absolute URL. Okay, I see. I think you mentioned that. Jasmin, you mentioned that during a triage, I think. And you are here, you are here. Change how the permissions are grouped and sorted. Okay. Yeah, we reviewed the PR. I think we did some, we made some comment on it, and then I assume it was applied and then merged. So grouping, permissions, manage steps, button and description for deployment, fix an issue, provides a way to import and export recipes, and display a display button. Well, the display action for the managed steps. Okay, display all users in the user picker field by default unless the user selects specific role. User picker field. If you don't select any roles, it will display all users, unless you say I want to display all users and then you ignore the roles. I think we talked about it also in the triage. Okay. Fix hidden custom full text pattern field. when the page is loaded. Collapse and show. I think there's a trick in Razor that if you write show and a boolean, then if the boolean is false, it might not render the attribute like the thing you are currently doing here, which is that if it's false, it won't render the attribute, but if it's true, or if it's true, render one. Oh no, this is a class. Okay. Okay, so this is a class. Okay, collapse and include text template. Okay. So this is hiding the text area. Okay. GraphQL UI. Wow. That's a lot of changes. Is that just scripts? Is it just a new version? Just a new version, but with more scripts. What is that? Graphical launcher, graphical. What is all these things? I'm confused.
I believe that these are generated by it's not Gulp, but it's the Webpack does that.
Okay.
I have
But what's weird is that they're all new files.
On the PP, yeah.
And what is, because if nothing is referencing it, it's not used by anything, so it's useless. So changes are too large to display. So maybe, oh, is it a new? No, it's not. It's a new file. So what is referencing it? Maybe I shouldn't have clicked. Yeah, I'm wondering how it works. Because if that's new, that's weird. Should there be some deleted files also? I don't know what this prefix means. Oh, I clicked. Must be a pretty big file. Scary. Okay, it's a minified file. Oh, I won't touch this thing again. Let's move away. But yeah, I'd like to know if someone can find out. I'd like to know what's happening here. Tony. mkdocs update, ImageSharp 202. I didn't follow the release, what it was fixing. Fix Media Modal. Bootstrap, it's a new way to do that in Bootstrap, I assume, Bootstrap 5.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. QQ group link. Oh, because they have a community. Chinese community 400, local communities. QQ.com. I don't know what it is. Does anyone know QQ.com?
I tried to go on the URL, but it's blocked and only available in China, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to know if it's very famous there. OpenId Introspection, Revocation Endpoint, and PKCE.
By the way,
Okay.
that image would be probably better to be loaded from the repository, from the doc site, not remotely.
Is it an image? Yes, that's an image. But do we do that for other links? Still, ID key. That's fishy. If it's just an image. No, this is a link to the community. Okay, so this is fine, but the image, yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Are you finding any issues, Oltan?
Yep.
Thank you. OpenID improvements. I saw the discussion with Kevin. Introspection, revocation endpoints, PKCE. The settings, because obviously OpenID support that, but it needs to be plugged in the UI. Good. Fixed tenant status filter by Sham. Okay, fixing the link to the controller. Add password to user creation form. I think we talked about it. Spacing issue. Render when. Password confirmation. Okay, it's just the same thing as some other screens, I assume, but when you create a user, okay. Do we have that somewhere? Did you copy it from somewhere?
They are actually changing the JavaScript in a second PR.
Okay. It might be interesting to to take the constraints into account, the password constraints at least.
Yeah, this is
I don't
why.
know what. Okay.
This is why
Because it might be incompatible. Okay. Yeah. Good. Support read-only content. Okay. How did you do that in the end? So there was the link to view in the admin. We talked about the permissions to change. Refactoring. Refactoring. Okay. It'd be nice to have a demo one day of these new things. Maybe Gabor/Lombiq could add it to the post at least with the screenshots. I'm pretty sure actually they will do that, so we'll see. Provide a way to override YesSql configuration. We talked about it also because there are some hard-coded values and maybe, well, hard-coded from Node.js perspective. So now we can change the settings. With the options, YesSql options in the file. Okay, that's nice. Is there some documentation? Maybe we should have some documentation. Like a sample values, just to let people know that they are there. Fix exception when recipe is imported with undefined variable. Okay, good. Enhance back parts to honor permissions. So permissions for back parts. By creating fake content items and checking if you can create them before displaying that you can create them, accessible widgets. Editable, viewable, deletable. Accessible content types. Okay, viewable, editable, deletable. It's kind of weird, but yeah. So if you can't delete a specific content item, a content type, then you can't even remove them from the back part. Okay. Just checking the same thing because it's very brittle. All these things, you change one thing and you break everything. Or you break something you never see. Because it's a very rare case. Okay, spaces. Good. Fix errors in code prompts. I don't see anything here. Just spaces. Okay, semicolon here. And yes, file. Fix errors. I don't see what would fail in this case. What is it fixing?
It's not really a fix, but here in the first, I think there's a span. You remove the span, and on the other one, there was a double.
Okay, get it. Okay, yeah, okay, that's the issue. Add local communities group repository first page, same issue. Net 607 update. Don't use HttpContext as a field. Well, it depends on the scope, but I believe it's a singleton. So, well, not sure it's a singleton. Maybe in one case, a singleton, but it should not be. But okay, fine. Yeah, okay, if it's a singleton, there might be an issue. But these are not solutions, it's just, there is no issue, but it's just a safe change to say that's a bad thing to do, so it could fail at some point. Yeah, maybe at the same time, it can be the same issue with anything that is not a singleton. So, okay, doesn't hurt. Well, it could hurt perf, but this is not the case in this case, so that should be fine. CulturePicker to ContentCulturePicker. Okay. ContentCulturePicker container is a shape. The ContentCulturePicker. Okay, it's just documentation. Azure.Storage.Blobs update. Documentation fix. Add permission for Amazon S3 module. Okay, so new permissions. New permissions. Interesting. Review Amazon S3. Serilog update. mkdocs. HtmlSanitizer. And Serilog. Okay, all done. Demo from Joseph. You should be able to share your screen whenever you want.
Yes, I start sharing. So, I added a new feature to the UI Testing Toolbox, but we can check the visual output of an application and compare it to a baseline image under the test. And you can find this new thing. Open source .NET-Core extensions repository, and let's see. So I will show a very basic example, and I will try to tell what how this works. So the we are using the ImageSharp compare package to compare the rendered output of the application against the baseline images, and and it works very similar like Should-List match-approved method. So you can define, you can give the asset verification approved method. You can give a selector to asset visual verification approved method, and it will take a screenshot of the selected component, and if it's not present under the project, it saves it automatically, and next run of the test, it will use it to compare the output. So here is a very basic example. This sample is checks the navbar content visually. So let's see how it works. And a bit more time. Under the development and test, while I created this or implemented this feature, I faced a lot of issues and problems between the Linux and Windows operating systems. Mainly the form rendering, for example. So comparing images pixel by pixel is not the best. We need some tolerance to avoid these programs in different operating systems. But with this implementation, it's possible to use different design images on different systems. So I don't know why this test won't start. Something went wrong and start the test. Restart video moment. So another use case for this verification test is when you want to validate that the rendered image is good, or for example, if you're using web and render something on it, and you can check that with this useful tool. I hope it gets started. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to hold you back. I will come back with this test in next, and I hope it will start. I think something wrong with my laptop or with.
So what happens when it runs? It starts Chrome.
Sorry?
When it works, what happens?
I don't know. It won't start.
No, but if it was working, what would we see?
If it's working, you see browser window. It sees all the setup parameters for HtmlSanitizer, and then it will check the navbar header content, and this is when if it's not changed. So if I not change the setup in the setup path for the site name property, the test pass, and the next turn is for this demo is to change the site name to something else, and in that case, the test fails. This is the very basic sample for this feature, and you can find other tests here, and a canvas test under the chart.js test project, and you can see it there. I don't know why this.
Okay. That's okay. I should next week if you can just run this demo just to see how it works, and we can record it. That will be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I get that again. Thank you. Sorry for this.
Thank you. That's okay. Questions, comments?
What's the advantage of this test? Those tests against what we have already?
Sorry?
Yeah, because we have JavaScript framework for doing these tests. Is it because it's run on server side, or because it's easier for the CI, or?
So as I see the test, it compares only text content of the component or control or anything, but this test not just text to not compares the text content. It compares the rendered content. I mean, the rendered content is what the user sees on the screen, and you can test all components with this textual comparison, because as I mentioned, if you are using Canvas, you can't validate its content with comparing only text. So I think this is a very big advantage of this feature. And of course, if you check the images, so if something changed one of the image resources, and you can compare it by text, you can compare it with, you can test it with this tool.
So if I understand correctly, it's doing a comparison with a base image.
Yes, there is a comparison with this image.
Okay.
And
so you assert that it's properly equal all the time, because if something happens, then the image result will change. So it's pixel perfect.
It depends on the settings. There is a threshold level, and the ImageSharp compare creates a statistical analysis of the two images, and it creates a relative error number, and you can use this error to compare the images. So you can use 0 threshold level, and in that case, the baseline images and the rendered images are equal pixel by pixel. But if you give bigger tolerance, you can see a sample for this in ChartJS test. In this case, if you give a bigger threshold, you can create a match. Sorry, I can't find the word.
Well, I think we got the point, though. Yeah, thanks. Looks nice. Thank you.
Okay.
Really, the point here is that you want to check whether something changed compared to a known good state, something that's visual, and that would be otherwise hard to specifically assert on. Like you display a complicated chart and you want to make sure that you don't mess it up. So you're pretty much having a regression test. Then you can save a known good screenshot pretty much of that chart and compare it against that with each test run.
Cool. I hope we can see it working. I want to see images. Other questions? Should I share? I can share. Yeah, open the link. You paste it all the time. What else? Topics? Questions? Who wants to say harvest? Just for fun. Ding. Topics. New release, no harvest. What else? Nothing else? Okay. Then we are done. Let's see, Zoltan wants to say something.
Something very important.
Test to ChartJS Canvas test. Okay. So next meeting on Thursday, 10 p.m. Redmond time, 7 p.m. 10 a.m. Redmond time, 7 p.m. France Paris time, 8 p.m. Hungary time. I believe so.
Yes.
And 6 p.m. UK for Dave, because Dave is always there. Thanks everyone. See you on Thursday or next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.